Hey guys, so I got an insane response to my post, Tips for Tilters in our Dota 2, which was pretty amazing. And I just wanted to make a video covering a few of the points that people were really curious about in the comment section. So if you like this video, like and subscribe to this channel, and I will try and make a lot more content like this because it seemed to be well received. Also, the card in my camera is super small, so I'm gonna have to record these videos in short segments of like 5 minutes. So I'm gonna actually make 3 videos to cover the 3 points that I wanted to talk about. And this first one is gonna be about communication. Communication was a big point that people were asking about, communicating with people that are tilted. And those two things kind of take a slightly different approach, but there are some similarities. So obviously Dota is a team game, and you have 4 people plus you on a team, which 5 probably pretty big egos together trying to create a common goal. And sometimes you get those like miracle teams that are everybody's working together, everybody's communicating, it's great, but that's super rare. And the common experience is that you feel like you're alone in this game, almost in like a 1v9 situation, which is not real reality, but it feels like that. And what can help bridge that gap is proper and effective communication with your team. So how do you do that? Well, you gotta understand that in Dota, you are given the option to ping, to draw on the map, to voice chat, to textually chat, and people take information through different sources. Some people like to see it, some people like to hear it, some people like to actually do the action to learn best. And so giving people the most options by doing all those things when you want people to go somewhere and do a certain thing is going to be super effective in kind of covering all of your bases. The next thing is that people are more receptive to communication when they're in a good state of mind. So this kind of brings us to the how do you communicate with tilted people. And the number one thing is put yourself in their shoes, right? If you've ever been upset during the game, remember that when people then criticize you or tell you what to do, it makes you more tilted, like 99% of the time. Remember what makes you triggered when you are already kind of upset, and don't do that to other people. Like, it's super simple, you know? If you make a mistake, you probably know that you made the mistake. So having somebody tell you that you made the mistake does not help. Like, it just doesn't, it's not constructive, right? So the better thing to do is to kind of distract from that situation by then formulating a plan and leading by example, right? So if your team is kind of on tilt and things are not going well, it's your job to then present them with some positive options. And how do you do that? You can try to, take an objective or whatever. You can try and back your team up. What I like to do sometimes is that even as like a carry or an offlaner who maybe isn't supposed to leave the lane super early, I will have a TP so that I can back my team up if they get dived under tower or something like that in a situation where I could help turn the tide. Because like I said, everybody feels alone in solo queue, and if you can help your team realize that you guys actually have your back, you're all in it for the same reason, then that can go a long way towards making your team play better. You're all at the same MMR. If you feel like you're way better than your team, then you probably should climb. And if you're not climbing, then maybe it's because your communication sucks and you're not actually helping your team win the game. So, if your team's tilted, then give them a better option. Don't focus on the negative stuff. And one of the best ways that I've found to do that, to like get people to do something that you want them to do, is to not be like, go do Roche, because you're telling them what to do and they're already not receptive to you because they're upset and defensive. So instead, if you're like, hey, do you guys think we can do Roche? How about we do Roche? How about we push this tower and then go do something else? How about you keep pushing and then I will sit behind you and counter? Because if you present it in that way, it's like asking them a question, and yeah, you're like actually making the suggestion, so you're kind of calling a shot, but you're giving them the option to say no. And that's really important because people like to feel empowered in the game. They don't want to feel like they're just following somebody. So if you give people the option to make the decision themselves, if it's actually a good decision, they will come to that conclusion themselves. But you will present them with the option, how about we do this thing to help us win the game? And they can, make that decision for themselves. And usually that'll also kind of help people snap out of like the really negative mind state of being like, oh, it's all on me and my teammates suck and everything sucks, because they'll have to start thinking about the game and how to win it. And that's really important.